Hello YouTubers, and welcome back to Go Figure Customs YouTube channel. Was planning on maybe doing an episode of General Geekery today because Hasbro Pulse had a bunch of announcements today. G.I. Joe movie figures got announced, a bunch of Transformer stuff. There's the new Marvel Legends figures, and my puppy wants to be in the video because I have her ball. Because she's acting like a crazy dog. Here, you can have your ball. So that's what you want. You want your ball? See, everybody loves toys around here. Let's see. So the new Marvel Legends line, I think there was, or not line, but announcement. Seems like there was Cheddar Star and Domino 2-pack maybe. And then I'm going to call it an Iron Man wave of figures. There's a stealth armor, looks like a repack. The modular armor from the comic books is finally getting an armor. There's a guardsman. I don't remember if guardsman ever got a 6-inch figure or not. I don't have one, but that doesn't mean anything. You got a 4-inch figure. I got a couple of 4-inch figures, I think. No, maybe just one in the Iron Man 2 line. There's a Ultron. There's a holographic armor. And there was one other figure in that wave, and I don't remember what it was. And it was the gal that took over Iron Man in the comic books. I don't remember her name either because I haven't been reading the comic books for a long time. Looks like a really cool figure, actually, though. And then it seems like there might be one more figure in that line, and the Build-A-Figure is Ursula Major, which looks pretty cool. I'm just going to pick up the 3 Iron Man figures that I don't have in my collection. So I'm going to skip the rest of the wave, and I don't need to build a figure. But don't know that we're going to be doing that. So instead, I thought, why not a new toy review instead? Because today, thanks to FedEx and 3-day shipping from Hong Kong due to Locker Toys, I have the new Russian Naval Infantry figures here. So this is obviously in their realistic military figure line. There used to be a name for that. I don't remember what it is because they don't put it on all their boxes. But kind of back to the same box that was on the last wave. The last, let's see, that was, let me look at something here real quick. That was the Interstellar Hammer Trooper set. So it came with a box with art like this and pictures on the back. But the last several releases from Joy Toy have been for this Battle for the Stars line, the military science fiction line, and not the realistic military figures. The last realistic military figure set that came out, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Actually, I can look real quick because they probably have it. Aside from the World War II stuff, I haven't gotten any of the World War II stuff. I think is the Delta Force set. Let's see, and it's been a while on that. Hang on a sec here. Going back, yeah, U.S. Army Delta Force set was a 3-figure set. I don't know, I reviewed that a long time ago. That was kind of one that I said if you didn't already have, if you're just getting, it was a good set if you're getting into the line, but if you've already got a bunch of Joy Toy figures, it was probably okay to skip that line. It wasn't, or that set wasn't particularly exciting. It wasn't shitty, but it was not spectacular either. But this looks like it's a window box. Mine got kind of beat up on the way in from China. It was in a bubble mailer. But as I am not a mint in box collector, I don't really care. So it looks like we have interchangeable heads, which looks pretty cool. So yeah. Nice picture of the nice box art there. On the back, the team, and then one each of the figures, as you can see. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russian Naval Infantry figures. So we got the 3 Russi Looks like just the regular heads on it, and then I don't know. Let's get into it here. Nothing exciting on the outside of the box. It just says Russian Naval Infantry. Keep away from fire. Handle with care. There's important instructions in the box. Please keep it in reserve. So just the usual stuff that's on the box. Of course, you know, one of the three things that I always review is how well it looks in the box if you are a mint and box collector. And as I said, I'm a big fan of window boxes like these. These are great for display. But being a not a mint and box collector for Joy Toy stuff, there we go. All right, so the little packaging insert that comes with every set. Russian Naval Infantry on one side, Joy Toy on the other. Picture of the team together. Picture of the guys with all their gear off. Remember, all their gear is interchangeable. If you want to take the gear off, I highly recommend heating it up with a blow dryer for a couple of seconds to soften everything up, soften your joints up, and it will make the gear more malleable so you can remove it. So let's have a look at the figures. It looks like basically 6 of the same figure, just with different weapons, and looks like a different head sculpt for each one. So we got an unmasked head, and then a balaclava head with a helmet, and the helmet looks removable. We've got 5 loosed hands in there. There's 2 fists, left and right hand, and then 2 like holding hands, left and right, and then 1 left hand like a trigger finger. So I'm gonna pull the first guy out. All right. The vest looks like a new sculpt. The belt looks like a new sculpt. I think it's just the regular buck that we've been getting for the figures. Nothing new on the figure itself. I do like the belt because it's got this nice big like pack in the back, and then it's got a functional holster right here. At least it looks, yeah, it looks functional. This looks like it's a lot better than some of the other holsters that they've done, because the pistol stays in the holster pretty well on that. Seats far enough down in there. All right, and then you can see the tampo for the Russian Federation flag on each arm. Those functioning goggles. No, goggles are sculpted to the helmet. Does that helmet come off? Because it looked like they were. I don't know that that helmet comes off, but it looked like in the box art that we had a removable helmet. Maybe we do not. Let me look at the box art again real quick here, because that helmet doesn't look like it wants to come off. No, maybe not. I thought the helmet came off the balaclava head, but it does. No, I don't believe that it does. Okay, so the helmet is not removable, which I think is kind of, I would give it a, that's kind of a pet, I won't call it pet peeve, but it's an annoyance, because you could have had essentially 3 heads for the price of 2 if you'd have made that helmet removable, because you've got your unmasked head here, and then you could have had just a balaclava head and then with a removable helmet, but instead it's all one solid piece. Yeah, it definitely is not supposed to come off of there. And I'm guessing that there's probably a tab sculpted in the helmet that fits in the head, so even if you took it off, it wouldn't be functional straight just the way it is. You would, well, one of the things I do always review is the customizability. Okay, this would be an easy mod. All right, hit this with a hair dryer, pop this helmet off, take a Dremel to the inside of the helmet, smooth it out, take the head. There's definitely going to be some sort of tab hole in that. Take some sculpting stuff, green stuff, or I use epoxy, AVS epoxy sculpt myself. Fill it in, paint it up, and then that would be an easy mod. You're looking at probably 30, 40 minutes worth of work, plus it takes about 3 hours for the stuff I use for sculpting to set fully. So it'd be an easy mod, and so that, I think that would be a really nice thing for customizing. I'm almost tempted to do that myself, honestly, but I've got so many guys that I don't know that I would, it's going to bother me too much. So we'll give him his unmasked head here. And I don't know a lot about Russian weapons aside from the AKs. So obviously a sniper rifle of some sort. I like how it looks though. I've got a functional bipod, which is always pretty cool. And then we will, actually no, this might be a different, I just noticed something. See the cargo pocket there on this figure? There is a joint above. You can see the seam right above my thumbnail. So part of the mid leg comes up above where the joint sits. That's kind of cool. So that cargo pocket's kind of hiding the seam of the swivel joint there. That is not something I've seen on other figures before. And it's got the usual double jointed knee. The knee pad looks like it's kind of in there a bit differently than they have been previously too. I wish this would focus a little bit better. And then, so you know what? I think this is not entirely, because the foot is different too. So we've got a swivel hinge at the top of the boot, and then the regular rocker ankle at the ankle, and then it has the toe joint. This is a different style joint than I remember being on the regular military figures. I could be wrong about that because it's been a long time since I've reviewed one of the regular military figures, but I've noticed, and it has the new one of the things that has come out in the last couple Battle for the Stars lines is the kind of a ball joint, hinged ball joint in the wrists. This has that hinged ball joint, so your wrists are a lot more posable now, which is really cool. The crotch also looks a little slimmer. Let's see how he sits. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how well he sits there compared to, I mean, you can sit him down and his knees touch. If you remember the problem with the earlier military figures, early realistic military figures, is the crotch was so wide that the legs were so splayed that it would be hard to get it into a vehicle or a natural position for posing. But man, okay, they've done a lot of work on the joints. All right, it doesn't, I think this might be somewhat of a new buck, but holy cow, they've done a lot of work on the joints. It's not readily noticeable. And I mean, it's taken me this long to notice that, hey, there's some really nice improvements on these figures all of a sudden. I mean, that's fantastic. That'll sit in a vehicle perfectly. For all the people that say that, you know, Joy Toy, that bitch about their QA, QC, man, they listen to the people that buy these things and they fix the problems that they have with the figures. Man, you don't see Hasbro doing that kind of stuff. All right, so let's give him this gun. I'm going to swap his head back out. I like the balaclava head. Don't really have much use for the unmasked head. All right, I had to pause it there because my dog is crazy when the delivery guys show up, or somebody's walking in the cul-de-sac, or somebody's driving in the cul-de-sac, or if there's children, or if there's a squirrel, or if she thinks she sees something, or if there's deer, or if there's bear. She's crazy. All right, so anyway, lots of improvements, it looks like, on the articulation. Subtle but very functional improvements on the articulation of these figures. And like I said, it's pretty much just the same figure 5 times. Let me double check here. Okay, so there's this video on YouTube. Google it. I think it's if you do a search called "dog, what's your name?" That's what I imagine my dog saying, because it's this dog saying, "Hey, what's your name?" "My name's Tony." "Hey, fuck you, Tony." That's what I imagine my dog is saying to everybody she sees. "Hey, what's your name?" "Hey, fuck you." So, anyway, yeah, so like I said, ooh, he's missing a pistol. He did not come with a pistol. Again, the pistols, at some point in time, I'm just going to do a Marauder task force order and order decent pistols. I'm not a big fan of the pistols that come with these. With the Joy Toy thing, with the Joy Toy figures, Marauder does a much better job. I think the pistols are like 50 cents a piece, you know. Or I might not. I mean, I've got so many of these that, I mean, for me, not having a pistol in a holster is not a big deal. You just don't even notice it. The joints are all good. I forgot to mention that the joints are loose. Nothing's loose enough that you're not going to need to heat them to soften them up. But yeah, it's the same buck 5 times, just with different weapons. So this is I did the top guy on the left, so I'm doing the bottom guy on the left now, and he comes with this tactical shotgun, basically, which has like a little tech light on the bottom there too. So we got our shotgunner there. So I think these would be it, like, you know, for like playability, these are fantastic. I mean, these are awesome. You know, if you've got the U.S. Navy SEAL set, now you got somebody for those guys to fight, or you can do a, you know, team up mission. Being a big G.I. Joe fan, growing up reading the G.I. Joe comic books, the October Guard was, you know, kind of the adversarial ally. You know, they weren't friends, but they weren't enemies. They were friends, but they weren't. They were enemies, but they weren't. You know, they never got a lot of decent figures for the October Guard. This would be a very cool, like, October Guard set with the Russian Federation flags. You know, obviously they're very uniform, and the characters for the October Guard were not, but it'd be a good starting point for an October Guard set. But the Russian Naval Infantry is my guess is that it's something equivalent. I don't know a lot about the Russian military structure, even though I spent a lot of time in that part of the world. They have a hard time getting them standing up here. So I don't know if these guys, you know, if these guys are like an equivalent to the SEAL team or what. You know, I don't know how well trained these guys are. The next guy on the bottom, same buck again. His weapon is, It's the same like saw that we've been getting from every set. So that is not a Russian weapon. That's a U.S. weapon. So not an. It's cool, but you know, not a particular. The puppy doesn't like it. She's growling. I'm not gonna swap out heads. I'll show you the heads here. If I can get them out. So you got a like a blonde with high and tight. So that's one. And I don't know if these are new sculpts or not. I'm kind of guessing they aren't. There's your second head. Well, technically your third, because this was the first one. Whoa. Slippery little devil there. So that was the first one that I showed you that I swapped out on. I might use these for customs, honestly. It's always nice to have new head sculpts for customs, so I have no intention of swapping these out ever again, just because I like the balaclava head. There's another one. That's your fourth head. And there's your fifth head. They're nice heads, don't get me wrong. But I don't need, I just won't swap them out enough to oh, here's pistols. Hey, you got pistols. I don't think my guy was missing a pistol after all. Let's see. He needs a pistol. You get a pistol. You get a pistol. You get a pistol. Everybody gets a pistol. Guns, guns, guns. He's got one. All right, so, oh, he's got one. He didn't have one. All right. And the holsters are still pretty loose. I think it was just tight on that first guy. The other two guys, they lost their guns. Their pistols in the pack. So again, they're having a. I'm not real impressed with the functionality of the holster. I mean, it works, but because I mean that one's still in there, but it needs a bigger pistol to work really well. Let's see, our fourth guy needs. See, there's a nice AK for you. We got kind of that tactical grip on the front. We got a laser sight on the, or a laser on the front of the barrel up here, and then just a sight on the back. So there's a nice Russian style weapon for us here. I wouldn't have mind like 3 of those, honestly, for this set. Have the guy with the shotgun have 2 weapons. Whoop. So there's your fourth guy, and then third guy, I guess I didn't show off. And like I said, it's the same figures, just different weapons. I'm going to get all these guys out, give them guns. I'll set them up, and then I'll do a quick swap the, turn the camera, and then a quick, like, pan of these guys. And then there's a nice AK with a pistol grip and attack light on the front. I like that. That's a nice sculpt. Again, Marauder Task Force has some really nice AK-47s and 74s. So if you get these guys and you want to re-equip these guys with some like decent Russian weapons, like the stuff from Marauder Task Force is modular, so you can take stuff off, put it on. The magazines come in and out, and they're maybe like $2-3 a piece for like a set for like, you know, one gun and some pieces to go with it. I'd highly recommend that if you're wanting to swap some weapons out. It's a cheap and easy fix. If you're not wanting to customize it, they come in a nice kind of semi-glossy black. So it's a cheap way to kind of upgrade your figures. And there's your fifth guy right there. Again, nothing different from any of the other guys. But this is a solid set, and I love what they've done with the articulation. The subtle but very functional improvements with the articulation are very nice. So let me pause it here. Let me get these guys posed, and then we'll have a look at them. All right, here is our close-up of these figures all geared up. This is a nice solid set. I definitely recommend this one. And give me a second here. We'll do like 30 seconds of looking at these guys, and then I'll pause it and then spin it around so you get to see the back too. All right, let me spin these guys around real quick. All right, so here's a good close-up of the back. I do like that belt, that pack on the belt, and the holster. The placement of the holster is nice too. And remember, all of this gear is removable. You can take anything off. You can swap it on to another one of your Joy Toy figures. Everything comes off. Just need a little heat to do it, to soften everything up, to make it more malleable. All right, I'm get a close-up of the tampos there, the flags. Paint apps are impeccable. All right, let me flip it around and we'll finish this off here. All right, so even though it's basically just 5 of the same guy, it's a nice solid army building set, and the joint improvements are phenomenal. Like I've said it like 3 times, it's subtle, but it's amazing at the same time. I can't say enough about Joy Toys product, and their listening to the customers and saying, you know, and us saying, hey, this doesn't work. You know, this is not a functional toy. This is not, I can't pose this. It doesn't look good. It's crappy. Won't fit in stuff that are vehicles that I already own. And they're like, okay, you know what? Valid point. We'll fix that. And they sure did. I don't know that we'll see that improvement on any realistic military figures coming up in because I've not seen previews for any upcoming realistic military sets. The stuff that is coming up, there are 3 Battle for the Stars air cavalry figures, and then 2 like deluxe air cavalry figures, and then the next 1/18 scale mech is coming out soon. And on top of that, they're doing like diorama play sets that are in 1/18 scale as well. I don't plan on picking up the play sets. It's not that I don't have room for them. I just don't have a place. Oops, somebody fell. I just don't have a place. Number one, I don't have a place to set the play sets up. You know, if I just got 1 or 2, you know, if I got one of everything, I don't really have a place to set it up to look nice. I saw a guy on YouTube, or on, I don't know if it was YouTube or Facebook, I don't remember. Checking in the Joy Toy group that I've posted this in, but he bought like 5 or 6 of each set and then made this like huge base with it. And that looked really cool. You know, if I had more money than I knew what to do with, I might do something like that. But and the other thing is, I've got so many figures that just 3 or 4 play sets, it's just, you know, a quarter of my figures will fill out that thing, and it will be too many for that thing. So it just kind of defeats the purpose. That's one of the reasons that I love having a G.I. Joe flag, is because I can just plop these guys on the deck of the flag. I'm running out of room on that even. So probably what I'm going to do is I started customizing a Cobra Terror Drome a number of years ago. I think I'm going to take a second look at finishing that custom, and that's going to end up being a diorama for my Joy Toy figures, because it's big enough to hold a lot of them. So I'll be ending up spacing those out. So, of course, the big question is, where do you get these? I don't know if Big Bad Toy Store has these up for pre-order, even has them for pre-order. I'm sure they probably have them up for pre-order. Let's look. They're in stock at Locker Toys for, in stock, Joy Toy, 1/18 scale, Soldier Series. By the way, before I forget, Locker Toys, they have a code for this particular set. The code is 3SHIP, one word. So 3SHIP, and they will give you free shipping on this set. My wife also informed me, because I mentioned in previous videos about a currency conversion fee on your credit card. She let me know after I finished my last set of videos that it was just like $2, $2 or $3.
Sorry.
Yeah, she thought it was like 10 or 12 bucks. That might be a deal breaker for some people, honestly, because you buy a set. The sets are expensive as they are. Then you pay a little bit more for shipping, and then currency conversion fee starting. It's like, okay, it's starting to. If you were on the fence about stuff like this, and it's like everybody's going to start nickel and diming you to death, $12 might be a deal breaker for you, because it might be like, you know what, push me over the line there. But the currency conversion fee was like $2.13 or something like that, I think she said. So it's not a lot, but it is there, just so you know. Right now they are in stock for 660 Hong Kong dollars. How much is that, you ask? Let's see what Google says. Again, remember, currency conversion changes day to day based on any number of geopolitical things. So let's see, Hong Kong dollars to US dollars at this time, because a couple of days ago it was really, the Hong Kong dollar was really down, and it's come back up a little bit. Google it and it'll give you a graph, which is kind of interesting. 660 gives you $84.86. Shipping was free with the ship code 3SHIP. And keep in mind that if you pre-ordered these, they usually give anywhere from 4 to 7% discount. For pre-orders, I've noticed in the last couple of messages from Locker Toys, they're trying to undercut some of their competition, and they're doing double reward points on some sets that are coming out, and they're increasing the discount codes, especially on the deluxe Air Cav guys, the two guys. I think those, I can look real quick here. Pre-order Joy Toy. No, that didn't work. Pre-order Joy Toy. Yeah, one of the guys has a 14% pre-order discount. The other guy has a 9% discount, and they're calling it revenge pricing, which I find very amusing. But they're trying to undercut some of their competition. I don't know who their competition is, because I have been extremely happy with Locker Toys getting me. I've never not gotten anything that I've ordered from them. And since they've changed their shipping methods due to COVID-19, I've been getting my sets in 3 days. I think some people on the East Coast, it's taken them like 4 days. I've seen 4 or 5 days, but 3-day shipping from Hong Kong, can't beat it. So that's one of the things everybody asks me. How much was this? Well, this particular set at this particular time is $84.86, free shipping with 3SHIP, the discount code. Give it a couple bucks for your currency conversion, and you're better off pre-ordering it. I pre-ordered these, so I got a discount, and I think these might have had double reward points on them. I'm not positive. Don't quote me on that. And then they also have an all-in for the month set, because they've got a couple robotic, like a robotic missile launcher and a robotic Gatling gun. They kind of looks like they've been looking at some of the acid rain stuff. I don't plan on getting those. like to have them, but it's like, I don't need them. So I'm going to skip those. And then the diorama sets I don't need. So I'm not doing the all-in packages. However, the all-in packages, significant discount and double rewards points. Keep in mind you can use your double rewards points for if you save them up and use them, it can knock a huge portion of your price off of your figures. I've been not using my rewards points for the longest time, and then some of the figures that I ordered in the last batch of reviews that I did, I was like, you know what, I should use my rewards points, and I had a shitload of them, and it knocked a ton off the price. So keep that in mind. So like the big three things, the box is cool. It's going to look good on a shelf. I love the window box. Playability is the other thing. These are I'm going to say these are more playable than any of the other Joy Toy sets to date, simply because of the improved articulation in the ankles and especially the crotch. These will sit in any vehicle, any G.I. Joe vehicle that you have, any 1/18 scale vehicle. Sorry, I got my throat itches here. So I'm going to say, even though I'm not, I would knock a few points off for the fact that the head helmet is not removable from the balaclava head, but you do have an interchangeable head. Is a kind of a trade-off for the improved articulation in the crotch and the ankles. And they may have included this on the World War II stuff. I don't have any of the World War II stuff to say, hey, they've been doing this for a while, but this is the first set of figures that I have had where I've seen the joint improvements. The other thing I always talk about is customizability. Sorry. Anything's customizable with Joy Toy. Everything's very interchangeable, which is fantastic. And to make these helmets functional, if you're a halfway decent customizer, would be a very simple mod. You know, I should do a video on that. I should do that. Because all you need to do is soften up the plastic, take the helmet apart off the head, Dremel out the helmet to smooth it out, fill in the whatever hole is in the head with some sculpting stuff, let that set, paint it, you're good to go. So very simple customizing mod, which would make it even more functional. You know, like I said, I'm kind of a little disappointed that it's not a functional helmet, but then again, if you're a customizer and want to have some fun customizing these guys, simple mod with very little skill involved. I know a lot of people don't like to paint. Painting is my big thing, but I have a lot of friends that are customizers that absolutely detest painting. But just a little flat black, I would recommend probably Games Workshop. Will color match that, pretty well, and maybe a little dry brushing of some gray on there. Very simple paint mods. Fantastic set. Highly recommend it. I always recommend Locker Toys just due to the shipping and the pre-order discounts, and then now the revenge pricing, the free shipping on these guys, the fact that they get them in so quickly. I was going to see if they were if they had Big Bad Toy Store had a pre-order. Let's see what Big Bad Toy Store has, because I'll bet these are well over $100 at Big Bad Toy Store. Let's see, Joy Toy. Big Bad Toy Store is never going to sponsor this channel, I think. I've said that, you know, I kind of not not having a sponsor because I don't have to answer to anybody. But I'd really like Locker Toys to sponsor this so they could send me stuff so I can review it. Because I'd love to review the World War II stuff, but I'm not going to get it just to review it. Let's see here. We're looking for the Russian Naval Infantry guys. Not even seeing a pre-order. It's probably here. Hang on a second here. I'll bet it's over, close to or over $100. Looking. Boy, I don't see it. Nope, here we go. Still up for pre-order, $89.99, which is pretty. What did we say they were? 84. But Big Bad Toy Store is going to charge you shipping on that too. They ship FedEx ground, I think. So you're looking at probably $10-12 on shipping, whereas you can get free shipping with these guys through Locker Toys, and it's in stock now, so you don't have to wait for Big Bad Toy Store to get it whenever. So there you go. Yeah, like I said, I don't think Big Bad Toy Store is ever going to be sponsoring my channel because they probably aren't going to like what I have to say. I've been a customer at Big Bad Toy Store for probably more than 10 years, but there's better places out there, and that's one of them. Locker Toys is one of them. So I don't think I got anything else to mention about this particular set other than it's fantastic. Some new articulation mods, which are great. The box is cool. Playability is awesome. Customizability, there's a very small niche for improvement on just what's already here to make even without with minor modifications. Or these will be fantastic bucks for your own customs, for your realistic military customs. I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. Please do all that fun social media stuff like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, comment below. I do try and get back to everybody's comments. And once again, thank you for pushing me over 1,000 subscribers. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos at some point in time.